Welcome everyone to Dragon Quest FM, where we talk about and obsess over Dragon Quest. I'm Austin,
I'm PJ.
and me and Raspy McGee here
Yep.
are going to be talking about the Dragon Quest VII demo that came out just a couple of weeks ago. BJ's sick. You guys can probably
Yep.
tell by the sound of his voice. Um,
Yeah, it's been for a while. This is the best my voice has been too.
So, we obviously haven't been doing episodes because of that. This is also an audio only episode this week since he's feeling bad. So if you're like, what the heck? What's broken on my computer? It's not your computer. There's just none of our faces on this episode right now. Um, but yeah, Dragon Quest VII Reimagined demo came out on like everywhere about 2 weeks ago. You're playing it on Switch too, is that right?
I am. I'm playing it
That's
on
what you're playing.
Switch too. Haven't downloaded it on Switch One to see the difference or anything like that. Uh, but I probably will at some point just to see the difference in graphics and gameplay.
There is a difference, okay? So I played it first on Switch 2, the
Right.
demo on Switch 2. Then I checked out the demo on PS5,
Okay.
because I was like, want to see how
I
those
actually
play.
forgot it was coming out on PS5. I was thinking this one was just Switch.
Yeah, no, it's out everywhere. The Steam demo was out later. I know I saw people on our socials asking us why Steam wasn't out yet. And I didn't have the answer because we're not an official Dragon Quest podcast.
Yeah.
But uh but it seemed like Steam was just delayed by like a day or so
Right.
on getting it out. But yeah, so I tried it on PS5, and then several days later I tried it out on Switch 1. So I
Okay.
played through the first, depending on how you play this demo, it's like 90 minutes to about five
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah, I would
Um,
say probably around 2 hours for most people, two ish, 2.5.
really? You don't think
Yeah,
that's a little short?
I don't think that's a little short. No, I
Oh,
could see
okay.
getting through the dungeon, the cool bubbly dungeon, fairly quickly.
I okay, so I got through the whole demo on Switch 2 in about 4 hours.
Okay.
But that was with breaking pots and just taking my sweet time, like enjoying it, right? Did it in about 4 hours. PS5, I played it and, it was obviously much faster and was just kind of playing it for
Yeah, going
the sake
through.
of it. Yeah. And that time, and with I skipped a couple of cutscenes. And so that time,
Right.
um, it took me about 2 hours and 45 minutes the way I was
Okay.
playing it. And then on Switch 1, after after watching like the opening and a little bit, I was like, I'm just gonna like skip
Yep.
the cutscenes at this point. And so I finished the Switch 1 demo in about 90 minutes.
Okay.
And that was with I know I missed the mini medal on my
Okay.
Switch 1 playthrough, just from turning them in there at Starred Castle.
Yeah.
Um, and but otherwise, I think I did everything the same. It's just I was, skipping cutscenes and all the talking and things like
Yeah.
that. Wasn't worried about it. So
I
that's
skip a lot of the talking anyway because we've talked about it before. I read faster than the voice actors can do it.
yeah.
But the voice acting is really good in this one. I'll give it that.
Oh, I mean, and when I say skip, I mean not even just like going through it quickly because I read it like you and I can do. I just
Yeah,
mean
yeah, but
I
like
mean flat
actually
out
just
using the skip.
okay,
No,
yeah,
like
yeah.
holding down the
Holding down the plus button or
I
whatever.
think it's A on Switch, yeah, where you just hold it in and it skips the whole thing.
Right.
Like
Yeah, 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 I gotcha.
so I did about 90 minutes there. Um I will say before you get into talking any more about the demo, it is significantly uglier on Switch 1.
Which
Um
I'm actually a little surprised about, but not a lot surprised about.
it's been a while since I played a Switch 1 game. I guess I should say that too. Like I after I got a Switch 2 last summer, I pretty much let the kids have my old Switch 1 and I haven't really
Yeah.
touched it. And then but because of the whole Animal Crossing thing, they use my Switch 2 a lot as well. So like I've been playing mostly like on PS5.
Right.
Like that's where I played, Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3, HD 2D.
Yeah.
So I maybe that's part of it, but yeah, I tried it. Like it was beautiful on Switch too. It looked
It
gorgeous.
is gorgeous. Like the graphics really surprised me. Like all of the videos you see that we've seen and everybody's been ogling over it. That's what the Switch 2 looks like. And to see it in motion and playing, it really is impressive. Like they have done a phenomenal job on the Switch 2 version.
Yeah, I mean it looks great. On PS5, it looks incredible.
Right. Of
And
course it.
then I played it on Switch 1 and it looks like the 3DS version. No, no, not.
it
I mean, it honestly looks the way the 3DS version looks in my brain. And I realize it looks better than
okay.
the 3DS version, but you know how like, you haven't
Uh-huh.
played a game in a while and you're like, "Oh, this doesn't really look that different." That's how it kind of looks like on Switch 1 to me. As I just it going from Switch 2 to PS5 and then to Switch 1, I was like, "Oh my gosh." Like it felt like I was playing Dragon Quest VII with my glasses off.
Oh man. And I
Like
think you told me that you try it on both? Like can you download the demo on the Switch too? I can't remember if I had the option on that one or if
I
I'm
had
thinking of a PS5 on like whether I can download the
I
PS4
had
PS5 version of something.
no, I had Switch 2 on Switch 2, PS5 on PS5, Switch 1 on Switch 1.
Okay. Because I was
Um
wondering how it would look upscaled, I guess, on the Switch 2 because of the bigger handheld screen and stuff. Because I remember like Yuka Replayly going back, it wasn't. I mean, it was a big difference in graphics from Ukulele and Yuka Replayly, but it wasn't something that was like a 3DS game
yeah.
where that's interesting to me. I'll have to I gotta go. I gotta have to charge my Switch just to be able to see this. Switch
Now,
One.
I will say when I was playing on Switch 1, like it ran great. Like
Yeah.
I didn't even notice like even the load times didn't feel significantly longer from Switch 2 and PS5.
Oh,
I mean yeah, they're longer, but like they didn't feel like I was sitting there, for a solid like 10 seconds waiting for, something to load in.
right,
And um so yeah, I'm like I mean that's at least like it doesn't look as good on Switch 1, but like
right.
the
At least it
demo at
plays
least
good.
the demo at least runs really, really well. Yeah. So I will say that my kids hated Maribel.
Of course.
It was really funny because anybody that's listened to this podcast before, y'all know when I first played Dragon Quest VII, I was like, oh my gosh, Maribel is like the worst thing.
Yeah,
And just playing in the demo, I heard that they've like changed her a little bit in Reimagined.
yeah.
And like I saw where the dev said like, hey, we enjoyed like writing like humorous things for her and stuff like
Good.
that. But like just in the demo, she seemed like Maribel kind of always has. Um, but it was really funny because, in the demo, when you first arrive on the island, that has Maeve and everything there, you know
Yeah,
how there's like, you hear Maribel scream off screen. It's like a cutscene, like a
yeah.
fully animated, cutscene. And anyway, whenever that happened, Nora, who is normally the sweetest little angel you
Uh
could
huh.
ask for, she's sitting beside me on the couch. I'm playing it Switch 2 docked, so it's on the TV.
Okay.
And just like kind of very flatly, she was like, "Is she finally dead?"
Oh my God.
And we'd been playing the game for like an hour at that point.
Wow.
I was like, nope."
No, not.
They just did
No,
not like her. And
man.
like Rowan and her both, they were like, "Why is that girl so rude?" Like they cannot stand like rude people.
Oh yeah,
And
and that's something
they were both very put off. Yeah, they were like, "Why is that girl acting that way? Like, what's wrong with her?"
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think what's wrong with her is the way to go with Maribel for a long time in DQ7.
Yeah. So I told him I was like, hey, I was like, she gets a little better, but I mean, I'm not gonna pretend like she's my favorite character of all time by any
No, no,
means.
but I did learn to like Maribel.
And I did like that she still runs like with her hands out behind her. like
It's
the
so frustrating for me in this game.
why?
I don't know why it never bothered me before. And then in this HD version, her doing that run, I'm just like, that looks so ridiculous. Like I got used to it and not thinking about it. But the first time I was like, really? I don't know why it struck me as odd this time around.
It cracks me up and like because like I had never really been around kids who run that way.
Yeah,
Whenever I played, you know, Dragon Quest VII on
right.
3DS originally, I'd never been around kids that ran that way. And then as Nora and Rowan got a little bit older, Nora especially, when Nora was about 3 or 4 years old, whenever she ran with like reckless abandon, that's
Yeah.
exactly how she ran. Um,
Oh,
and so whenever we were watching Weapons this past year, that's
right.
how like the kids run in
Uh huh.
Weapons when they're fleeing their house. And Grace was like, "Oh, that's like Nora's run." And but in my head I was like, "No, that's Maribel's
And in
run."
my head, you remember years ago when there was like this weird storming of Area 51 with people doing like Naruto runs like that in the desert? That's what I think of.
I do
Is
not remember that at all.
like it was weird. Like y'all, if y'all don't remember this, look it up. Look about the Naruto runs in the Nevada desert. Like it was bananas. But that's what I think of every time I see it for Maribel running like that.
I gotcha.
I didn't
Anyway,
realize that Nora did that. Did Rowan do it too?
Yeah, but to like a lesser degree. Like I think it was probably because Rowan just never quite ran with that kind of abandon that Nora
Right.
did. It would be like when Nora was like really,
Really little.
going at it. Like when she was like really taking off somewhere, like really chasing after somebody,
Right.
she would do that. Not just always. So it's kind of funny because when they were watching it and the twins are like, "Why is she running that way?" And I was like, "Actually, I got some news
You
for you."
did.
Yep. So, so that was cool. I thought the demo was good though. I mean,
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
It was it took me aback. I don't know why I didn't realize this from screenshots that we've seen. I don't know why I didn't realize this from interviews. That it never clicked in my brain, that it just slid right out. That the UI was going to be different from like the HD 2D remakes. I
Oh
was
yeah.
thinking it was going to have the traditional Dragon Quest UI. And so I log in and I'm like, everything about this is different. This is a completely modernized UI that looks as much like Baldur's Gate 3 as anything. And I'm just like, this is not what I expected at all. This stuff is not where I'm used to seeing it. It took me a while to navigate through the menus, and
Okay. I will admit it took me a while. It took me a while to get used to that too. Yeah.
it's not badly done. That's what I want to do want to point out. Like it's not as though it's cumbersome. It's not as though it looks bad. I was just expecting the traditional DQ UI on it because it's the traditional DQ UI.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I hadn't really thought about it until you said it, but yeah, it did take me a while to get used to like just looking going through each character to like equip them and stuff, the way
yep,
to handle the menu doing that did take me a while to get used to.
with
I do like,
actual like equipment slots in it that you can see whether you're wearing a helmet or something. It's just different. It's just the typical way you do now as opposed to the way DQ always done it.
I do like that you start off with like a class, and I'll put class here in kind of like air quotes.
Yeah,
Like I thought that was cool because then it's not just like you're just leveling up, but not, it doesn't feel like you're just completely not advancing in any kind of way. Like for the first like however long it will take to get to All Trades Abbey.
yeah.
Um,
I
where
was I was surprised by that and also like really glad about it that you have like your junior fisherman maybe that you start out with. I think it was what the name was,
it's
and then
something
like
like that, yeah.
mini mayor, and I can't remember what for
Mini
Maribel.
Mayoress, Mini Mayoress, and like Prince,
Yeah, it was some
something.
royal
Yeah,
thing obviously for a
yeah.
keeper, but I can't remember exactly what it was off the top of my head, but yeah, it was really surprising that they had jobs immediately, vocations, and you get points to level them up as well. That so it wasn't something like it was wasted.
Yeah. which I thought was really cool. I so when I first started playing on Switch 2, I was like, I'm gonna be sneaky and I'm gonna like just keep it in the demo because progress rolls over, right?
Right.
And I was like, I'm gonna max out my vocations right now.
Oh
Um,
no.
and so that was part of why it probably took me like 4.5 hours
Yeah.
with the Switch 2 version the first time around. I didn't do it, just to be clear. I started to,
Like
and
that
I
could take
think
a
I got up
long time.
like it takes 8 stars, I think, to takes 8 stars to max it out.
Right.
And I think and on the difficulty, which I do want to talk about in a second, you can like change to get like more experience towards your vocations if you want.
Okay.
When you're tinkering around with like the difficulty customization stuff.
Yeah.
And so I turned it up all the way and was still I did it for a little while and then I kind of had to like sit my own self down and I was like, Austin, you've you've played this game before. You know it's going to be a while before you get to All Trades Abbey. You know that
Yep.
like you're not going to have a vocation to level up. If you max it out right now, you're going to be playing through probably like a solid like 6 to 10 hours of the game before you even get to a vocation.
Yep.
So like maybe don't do this. And so after sitting down with myself and talking about it, I was like, you know what, you're right. I need some restraint. And then I went and downloaded the PS5 version.
Yep. That's the way to show restraint rather than progressing on one that you're going to carry over. Just do it on something you'll never play the full version on.
Well, I've ordered the collector's edition on PS5,
Oh,
so
is that the one you ordered the collector's edition for?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I didn't I was gonna get it on Switch 2, but Switch 2 is just a stupid game key card
Game key card.
and
Yeah.
the PS5 is the actual disc, and I was like, if I'm paying like $300 for a collector's edition, it better come with the
It better
actual
have the actual
game.
game on there. Yeah, I get
Yeah.
that.
And so I got the PS5 version for that one instead. Um But yeah, so the difficulty settings, I did want to talk about that because did based on your reaction from me talking about the vocations, it doesn't sound like you tinkered around with them very much.
Not very much at all. No, it was one where I figure once I get to All Trades Abbey, I'll actually dig in on the other professions and get in on the other vocations. But while I was excited they were there, I didn't tinker a lot with it at all.
Okay, because I think that these are the best difficulty options that I have ever seen in a video game ever.
Yeah.
And like especially just seeing the progress from like Dragon Quest III remake, right? And
Right.
then
Yeah.
they improved on threes a little bit with one and two, and then all of a sudden now seven reimagined has like it's not just I mean you can set it to be easy, hard, normal, whatever, but there's like
Right.
presets that you can customize yourself where it's like experience. Do you want it to give like a normal amount, a low amount, like a more amount? Vocation points, do you want it to do less? Like you can tinker with all that
I
stuff
didn't even
individually.
dig in on that. No.
Yeah, it's when you first start the demo. Um, and so you can really like tailor it to your own experience and you can change it obviously because I've upped my vocations there toward the end.
Yeah.
Um, and you can change it. Same for like it's like how much gold they drop. It can be low, more or not. You can also set it where enemies don't chase you or they do.
Oh,
The they do being the default.
yeah.
Um, so there's like all this really cool stuff you can go in there and change, and tinker with. And anyway, I just thought that was really cool.
And I love, love, love that you can see the enemies on the map. That you can go in, you can hit them beforehand, and that you actually get to see where they are rather than truly random battles. I have always preferred it that way.
Yeah, I think I do too.
Ever since
Um,
Chrono Trigger back in the day, whenever we were able to see all of the enemies on screen before the encounters happened, it was like that's the way I prefer it by far. And so when I got out onto the world map and saw that, I was like, oh, I hope that's the way it is in the dungeons. And then I got into the dungeons and it was like, oh yeah, it's that way in the dungeons too. This is great. So I was very excited about it.
I'm trying to think. I saw some people complaining that the demo made it everything feel way too rushed. And
Hmm.
I didn't get that vibe at all. Now
No.
it has been 5 years, maybe. I can't remember. Anyway, it's been a number of years since I played any version of Dragon Quest VII.
Yeah.
Um, but when I was playing through the demo, in my mind, I could tell there were some like moments, that were streamlined a little bit, but to me, it didn't feel all that different from the beginning of the 3DS version.
It didn't to me either. It felt that I got through the early parts a little quicker than I did on the 3DS version, but I also felt that the first parts of the 3DS version still dragged, which is saying a lot considering how much better it is than the PS1 version.
Yeah. I also think that it helps with the hero knows zoom right at the very beginning of the game, and you can just
Yeah,
zoom around to locations.
that's helpful.
I was like, that's going to be really helpful, especially later on when like the world opens up even more. Like being able to zoom anywhere
Yep.
is cool. The fact that you can zoom indoors is cool, but still something I cannot get
Still
used to.
weird. Yeah, I'm not sure if I like it.
Dragon Quest has altered my brain, like literally, in such a way that I do not think that I can teleport from inside of places.
Inside
Like
any dungeon or house or anything, I feel like I have to get back to the entrance to be able to go somewhere else.
when it was like a Trails game or like playing like Tears of the Kingdom, playing Oblivion Remastered last year, any of the recent string of like Dragon Quest remakes, like especially those, like I
Yep.
I go outside before I zoom and I don't even think about it. And then like playing this demo here, I was like, oh, like because I had to train myself when I was playing one and two
Yeah.
a couple months back. I was like, I can zoom, I can just zoom. Like I don't have to take the time to walk, out of this castle puzzle. I can just zoom.
Right. You
And
can
uh and so when I was playing seven, I was like, okay, is it that way too? And I zoomed out.
zoom. Yep. And
And I
it's
think,
super weird to me still not hitting my head.
yeah, it's weird to me too.
Yeah, and I'm
I
not sure if I like it. Like I like all sorts of modernizations, and I really like when things are made that quality of life is just better in games. And for some reason, I feel like an old curmudgeon because I'm like, you shouldn't be able to teleport when you're inside.
no, I'm the same
And
way. That's the one quality of life improvement that I'm just like, I kind
and
of feel like you should hit your head.
and it's objectively better. Like there's no downside to it in terms of quality of life. It's like it doesn't make anything worse. It's just like you shouldn't be able to do this.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is it's far more convenient to, especially like one and two, like you're in the
Yeah.
dungeon or
Oh
whatever, and you
yeah.
want to like get out of there quick. But but yeah, I'm the
Yeah.
exact same way. I- it makes me sad to think that we might have played our last Dragon Quest game where you hit your head.
And that is
And I understand like
I do.
the need for progress and like, that just the fact that you can teleport from wherever is just such a nice like
Yep. And you can
thing to
do it in
have.
pretty much every other game, like you
I,
said,
I
and
know.
all the others. Like you can do it in like Donkey Kong Bonanza from way inside the world. You get yourself stuck, you can teleport somewhere. You can do it in Spider-Man, wherever you are. You can fast travel. But for some reason in Dragon Quest, it feels like it's cheating.
Yeah. Even in Spider-Man 2, when I was playing it, like I would
Right.
catch myself, like I would walk outside to like be
Oh,
out in the
really?
open before I would teleport. Like I'm serious. Dragon Quest has like altered the way I play games like permanently. Like my brain is just like that's just how it has worked, and I've not been able to like
Yeah.
trick
I
my
get it.
brain the other way yet. Like I'm just always
After
stuck in that mentality.
after playing them so many of them for so long, so close together and like successively after one another.
I guess
No, I
so,
don't
yeah.
I don't doubt that at all. Like that is what you did. You had to do that in so many games for so many hundreds of hours.
Yeah. I guess that's what it is. I don't know, but I just yeah, I don't know. I
Yeah.
was like, I do miss it. I didn't think it was rushed though. To
No,
me,
I
it's
didn't
like
feel like it was
fine.
rushed.
I will admit, I mean, I didn't see anything beforehand saying this was a thing, but I was. probably stupidly hopeful that like the vocations would you could go ahead and get them unlocked quick.
Yeah.
And who knows? I don't think so, but maybe that like second island you're going to get to go to when the demo ends happens to be, the island with all trades Abbey because they switched the like order around.
Oh
I don't
yeah.
I
I
don't
mean,
think it is, but I'm just saying like
it would be really cool if it was, if that was the case.
it would be because that's my it's still my biggest complaint with Dragon Quest VII, any version of it, is that they have this really, really good job system and they don't let you start out with it.
Yeah.
Like, you have to play for like 15, 20 hours, or maybe you've played it before and get really good. And so you do it in 10 hours. But it's just like you have to play a good chunk of a game. Like some games only last 10 hours
Yeah,
and
like
then
that's
they're
the length of
over.
some games. And while this is one of the longest DQ games, it's still weird that it takes that long to get to one of the fundamental systems of gameplay.
It is, yeah, and that's kind of my biggest thing that I'm hoping Dragon Quest Reimagined fixes is that the first part of the game, if you look at the game as a whole, and I know some people will disagree with me on this because they'll talk about how it gets you attached to the characters and
Right.
sets up the world or whatever, and I get that aspect of it. But like if you look at the game as a whole, it makes the beginning of the game so inconsequential. It's like the game really doesn't even start until you get to All Trades Abbey. And
Right.
spoilers, I guess, for Dragon Quest VII. If you're listening to this demo discussion and you've never played the other game, uh, stop here because
Hmm.
I don't want to spoil things for people. But like other than the fact that like you have to think about like Kiefer's in your party and then he leaves and then you get jobs. It's like the game really
Right.
doesn't start till then. The game really doesn't start till Kiefer's already gone and you have some jobs to start leveling up.
Yep.
Like so it's like this whole it just feels like that whole beginning part of Dragon Quest VII is just like a ridiculously long tutorial.
Yeah. Yeah. I
um
mean, it does. It did then too.
And so I'm hoping that Reimagine fixes that because that's still my biggest complaint with Seven. And
Yeah.
maybe part of it is just how much I love the job system. Like Seven still has my favorite job system of any game, not just any Dragon Quest game, just any game period. I love Seven's job system. Just something about it that I just
Yeah.
adore. And the whatever it's called, like monster medals or whatever that you can equip now
Oh, I can't
instead of like
remember what it was
monster
called.
classes
Yeah.
like that's cool. It's like, yeah, am I sad that you don't get to be monsters or
Yeah.
whatever? Like, yeah, it's a bummer, but like getting to equip that as like an accessory is kind of neat too. Like that's a cool idea. But I don't know. I'm hope like if Dragon Quest Reimagined doesn't fix that part of this game, I'm like,
Yeah.
why do you even exist?
Yeah. I mean, that's yeah. I mean, I totally get it. Like because so much of the I don't even want to say negativity about the game because there's a lot of love for it. So much of the issues come from just the protracted length of the game. That so much of the bad things that people say come and stem from it being so drawn out. And they could fix that in a number of ways. And one of them is by giving you vocation sooner to make it feel as though you're always working towards something.
Yeah. Um, so I mean, all that being said, the demo is really good. I really loved it.
Yes.
I adore the way it looks. I like the little doll aesthetic that the characters have.
Yeah, they look
That it
great.
I've seen some division on that, but to me they look just like if you look at the cover of like the PS1 version of Dragon Quest VII, like that's how those characters look. If you look at
Yeah.
Maribel Kiefer and the hero on the cover of the PS1 game,
Mm.
that's how they look.
They
And
do. They look like realistic little claymation figures going through the game. And the hero in Seven still, even in this iteration of it, has my favorite smashing bottles and jar animation of any of the heroes. For some reason,
because
I
he's so
just
little.
love the way that he picks them up and just throws them on the ground because he's so little. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
just, I love it. And it's one of the best things. And they translated it into this version too. So I was so excited when I saw that. I was like, oh, it was my favorite thing when I picked up DQ7 originally on the 3DS. I haven't actually played the PS1 version.
And it's funny that you mentioned that because I didn't realize how, I know we're almost out of time, but I didn't realize how much like I had missed just the simple act of picking up a pot and throwing it to like
Yeah,
break it. Because you know, in like 1, 2, 3 remakes, like
like
you
they
just
just
go over
check
to the
them.
pot. Yeah, yeah. And so whenever he did that here, and like the drawers and like the
Yep.
wardrobes were opening and things like that, I was just like, oh, this is so nice.
And just the little details like that make it feel good. Like this game to
Although,
me feels better to play, even through the
yeah,
demo here. It feels better than any of the HD2D remakes did.
no,
Like
I
just
agree.
in
I
terms
agree
of
with that.
grabbing it, picking it up, playing it, I think I would rather do this. And I don't think it's a graphics thing. It's just it feels overall more solid uh than the others. And I
The
don't know what
design,
the
yeah.
design does. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I was just gonna say really quickly, while we're talking about pot, the kids were aghast that I was going into people's houses and breaking their pots, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, like that was another comment. I can't remember if it was Nora or Rowan, but they were like, "Why are you just breaking into that person's house and breaking their stuff?" And I was like, "Oh, it's just what you do in
What
these
you
games."
do.
And
Yeah, you go
and
rob your
like
neighbors.
I went and like opened up a thing and I was like, oh, cool. I think I like found like maybe a mini medal or something. And Nora was like, are
Yeah.
you robbing this? And I was like, we'll
Yep.
talk about this later.
Yep. We'll talk about morality and ethical lines in video games when you're a little bit older.
Yeah. But anyway, that was very funny because they were like shocked that I was just going into people's houses and breaking their things.
Well, hey, that's good that you've taught them so well that they know that burglary and vandalism is bad, and
It's
that even
bad.
in video games that they shouldn't be doing that. So
That's
that's a
true.
win as a parent, and then you show them how much of a hypocrite you are.
That's true. Yeah. Then they just sit there and watch me break everything. That's so true.
Like that Limp Bizkit
Um,
song, "Break Everything."
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Uh, which is yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for listening to this week's episode.
Sure.
It is great to be back with you guys here in 2026. This was our first episode of season
Eight. This is
8.
season
Dang.
8. Yeah, that's crazy.
So anyway, thank you guys for listening. Let us know what you think of the demo if you've played it. Um, and we'd love to hear from you. We're on Twitter and Blue Sky at Dragon Quest FM. You can also leave a comment on Spotify or YouTube, and let us know what you think. If you want to talk to me personally, I'm at those places at Dragon Quaston.
And I'm on Twitter at BJK Games, Blue Sky at bjkgames.com. And we are also on Patreon as a podcast at patreon.com/Dragon Quest FM if you would like to support us that way as well.
Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you next week.
Yep. Bye, everybody.